Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you. This is going to be a July monthly forecast for the sign of Cancer. So, if you have Cancer anywhere in your chart, or maybe you just vibe with Cancers, you could be a cross watcher, whatever the case may be, this reading might be for you. These two really want to come out together, so I'm going to take them together. As always, with any reading you find on the internet, take what resonates, leave what does not. It is a collective. All right. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, try again. Sorry, too many fell out. You can do that through email or form submission on my website. Okay. All right, Cancers. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what the tea is. What's happening for you guys? Oh, okay. You have a very the way I'm hearing it is like a very serious. Like I almost feel like I should be in like a suit and tie serious kind of reading coming at you guys this month. Okay. Maybe some of you wear suit and ties to like work. This could be like a very like maybe you work very formal. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, Cancer. Let's dive in. Let's talk about it. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. You've got the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, and the Five of Wands. It's in the reverse, but I'm not going to take it in reverse because a card in the challenge is basically a reversal anyway. So, Cancer, it feels like a lot of your challenge in July is going to be your really bad habit of not listening to yourself. It really does feel like with the High Priestess and the Page of Swords, you're having some sort of intuitive moment right now. You're having some sort of like aha moment going on. But with that Five of Wands, you're a little bit not really listening. I feel like there's a little bit of conflict here, specifically in the way that you handle your intuition or the way that you are going to be open and receptive to your intuition this month. But let's dig in. Let's get to the bottom of this. I almost just said the meat and potatoes. Not something I normally say. Maybe it's something you normally say. All right. The name Sharon just came through. Your name could be Sharon. But let's. All right. You start with the Emperor as your first card out. This is really a good sign for you, Cancer. Emperor with the first card out right out of the gate is positive because the Emperor is the divine masculine. This is the father of the tarot. He's known as the father of all the kings. So he carries, I almost said embellishes, he carries all of the energy of all the kings with him. King of Swords, King of Cups, etc., etc. This is like BDE, when we're in an Emperor energy, we are in an energy of going out and getting. We are in an energy of like way my guides are making fun of me right now are saying hunter and gatherer. I feel like I don't know why, but I'm tripping over a lot of my speech in this reading, Cancer. You may be a little bit nervous this month. You may have like trouble speaking, or you just may have trouble getting the words out. But it feels like when we're talking about the Emperor, that is the go-getter. It is just like a coming out of the gate swinging kind of energy here. What I think is interesting is your crossing card. So a crossing card in a Celtic cross, it either helps us or it hinders us. The Four of Cups is not a help, babe. It's a hindrance because the Four of Cups is just apathy. It's not really caring, apathetic. It feels like for others of you that this is romance, because some of you this is not like this is going to be specifically romance. Others of you are really taking charge of your life, like I said in the beginning. But like for those of you that this is romance, this is, I'm going to be blunt with you here, a particularly bad omen because it feels like you or someone that you are in connection with here is kind of emotionally tapped out. Okay. Four of Cups is just, I don't really care. Four of Cups is you go to someone and be like, hey, look at this thing that I have. And they're like, okay, that's great. I don't care. It's icky energy. But let's see. Let's see what's going on for you guys. What is this? Please give me a little bit more. High Priestess on the High Priestess. Interesting. Three of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. That's odd. For some of you, you could have a child with this person, but it feels like... Okay, thank you. My guide just clarified for me. I just heard Wandering Eye. Three of Cups, when we're talking about a love reading, especially in this sort of context with the Four of Cups, is not great. Three of Cups can talk about friends and community outside of a love reading, but sometimes in a love reading it talks about third-party situation or infidelity. It feels like for some of you here, with that High Priestess and the Three of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, you may have a gut feeling that this is kind of where this relationship is heading. Ooh, I don't like that. I just heard it. You have yours and I'll have mine. This may be a moment for you guys to like reimagine the boundaries of your relationships for those of you that are in relationship here. It feels like, I don't know, this is really specific to come through for someone. If you're contemplating opening up the connection, it might be the time. Okay, it feels like there's almost this energy here. You may be thinking about this, but you and your partner need to go out and experience what you do want to learn what you don't want, is how I'm going to say that here. It feels like I said, that's going to be specific for those of you that are in relationship, but for those of you that are not in relationship, this kind of feels like a little bit more of a, how do I say that? It's part of your mom wound, which is not surprising. Everyone on my collective always has a mother wound. But I keep hearing socially acceptable. So it feels like a lot of you are tackling again with this Emperor, like regardless of whether or not you deem it socially acceptable, you're kind of going after it anyway. With that Three of Cups and the High Priestess, for those of you that this is like just a general sort of like life thing going on, it feels like you do have backup here is what I want to say. It does feel like with that High Priestess and the Three of Cups, people are like, hey, I support you. Hey, I'm definitely rooting for you here. It feels like you might just be up in your head a little bit, battling some expectations that maybe were left over from the parent here. You know, Queen of Pentacles is my mom card. So, in your head space, this is leaning very heavily towards love, and I am very sorry for those of you that don't want love readings. I did not plan that. This is a monthly forecast, but a lot of this feels like I'm talking to Cancers that are connected. You've got the Lovers and the Six of Cups in your headspace. So for someone here, this is really specific. You've been asking, like, is this person a soulmate of yours? I am here to tell you yes. Wow, Emperor on the bottom of the deck. I definitely do feel like this is a soul connection that you have going on, soul contract. These are all the same thing. Soulmate, soul connection, soul contract. These are all the same, but they have different names. You know, people, certain readers will call them different things. So it does feel like you are focused on this connection in July. It feels like it's kind of front and center for you. One of my guides just said the ugly duckling. Oh my goodness, you can't make it up. Six of Cups on the Six of Cups. This is a really, Cancer, this is a very strong, like, past life connection for you. This could be karmic for sure. Keep in mind, a karmic partner is a soulmate partner, okay? They're just here to teach you some sort of lesson. This is like a really interesting reading. The Moon and the Five of Cups. I feel like some of you guys... This is hard. This is harsh to say. The longer you daddle, the worse the outcome is. I feel like for some of you guys, you're kind of... I'm going to be really mean here, okay? Bear with me. You're wasting your time by, like, sitting around waiting and being like, well, the next time, or when this happens, I'll do it. Or, like, there's a lot of stagnancy here. And I feel like a lot of it comes from your fear. A lot of it is like, well, you know, I'm going to wait, or I'll wait for the right time. If we're waiting for the right time, we're always going to be waiting. Okay, babe? This to me is really just feeling like your guide's wanting you to, this is like rip the Band-Aid off. Okay. With that Five of Cups, I feel like it's like you're proactively grieving is almost what I want to say here. I think that, you know, you are ready to let go of this connection, but I also feel like you aren't. Like, it's like this weird, you could be going back and forth. This is almost how I feel when I'm in your energy. Like, okay, I'm ready today, and then the next day I'm not ready. You know, it's this very sort of like back and forth push and pull that you have going on. Um, but I feel like, because in your physical world, you've also got the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you're getting counsel from people around you, like the people in your friend circle. I feel like are giving you opinions. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. A lot of people around you are like, babe, move on. You know, this really does feel like you're sort of wasting your time here. I'm going to be really honest. And I don't mean that in a mean way, okay? I just feel like you've already made the decision to get rid of this or cut the cord, whatever it may be. And it feels like every time that you put it off, you inherit some more grief about the situation. You know what I mean? But it feels like you have some people around you that are reminding you of this. They're like, hey, keep this in mind. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, could be family as well, and Judgment. I feel like also there's this weird energy here of like, maybe you guys do this, like this is a cycle for some of you where you break up and come back together with this person. Because it feels like with that Ten of Pentacles here, they may be like, you may consider them family, but Judgment is the only card in the whole deck that talks about people from the past returning. You know, so this to me could be like, it almost feels like a, what do you call that? A cycle that's not closed. Like you guys always come back to one another. And I feel like the problem is because you loved each other so fiercely at first. You know, like I said, some of you, this is like the father of your children, you know, or if you're the father, this is the mother of your children. You know, I feel like for a lot of you, the way I'm hearing it is like there's so much riding on this decision, but it's not just simply because of the child. Because in the past here, you've got the Ace of Cups, which is love. Divine love, divinely orchestrated love. If, you know, if none, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll just leave it at divinely orchestrated love. My brain just derailed. But I feel like, that's harsh. The way I just heard this is like letting go is accepting that it's over. Ooh, yeah, Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is in your future, too. Three of Swords, Queen of Swords. A lot of you guys leave. It's almost like you leave the nightlight on, is what I want to say here. Because I feel like I'm gonna be harsh for a second. Every time that you leave this person and then come back, you are telling them that what they have done is okay. Whatever it is, whatever they have done, whatever your slights against this person are, every time you put up a boundary and then you don't uphold it, you are letting this person know that that behavior is acceptable. What I mean by that is that I tell all my clients, we teach people how to treat us. Okay, so if you have a partner that cheats on you and then you're like, you know what, it's okay, forgive you, and you keep doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you're letting them know, hey, this behavior is acceptable to me. You're teaching them that they can continue to do that. Okay, it feels like with the Queen of Swords here, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Wands, you need to almost just rip the Band-Aid off here, babe. This is not a moment of let me bide my time. This is a moment of I need to accept the heartbreak and move on, because even in your near future, babe, Three of Swords twice. The Three of Swords is the worst card in the deck. It's heartbreak and devastation. I understand how much this is going to hurt, okay? I mean, particularly, I feel it. I get it. I think you're going to cry a lot, Cancer, you know, because the way my guides just said this to me is like, you think you're going to wake up for like a week straight and cry. You probably will, okay? But what's the alternative here? What's the alternative? I feel like, if anything, the fact that this is consuming an entire month of your time is also kind of part of the message here. Like, why are you letting someone who shouldn't have this much control over you actually dictate your whole month here? Can I get Three of Swords, please? Yeah, Eight of Cups. because you know that you have to do what's best for you. But again, Temperance, I'm going to say something else mean to you. No amount of waiting is going to make it easier. There is no amount of prep in the world here with the Seven of Pentacles. There's no amount of convincing yourself, sitting with yourself, that is going to make this any easier. It is just going to be difficult. Okay? I feel like you need to start really understanding that. All right? Because this has already taken so much of your July from you before we're like not even 2 days in, babe, you know, and it feels like this is just going to keep draining you, because even how you're viewing yourself right now as the Hermit, you already are kind of doing it by yourself. You know, that's what I almost want to say here. I feel like with the Hermit, you're already kind of managing by yourself, going on, like, continuing to do and go on and live your life by yourself without this person. But for some reason, they're like energetically tethered to you. Probably because they just keep coming back around and you keep accepting it. Yeah, King of Swords. I feel like this leads you into like other areas of your life here, because King of Swords, Seven of Wands, and the Two of Swords, it feels like once you can start setting a firmer boundary with this person, that boundary will translate into other areas of your life. Okay, King of Swords is decisiveness. It's like action that counts. Okay, Seven of Wands is defensiveness, always being on guard, and then that Two of Swords is a decision. It's needing to make a choice. This to me really feels like, Cancer, I'm going to be real brutal here, you lack boundaries in your life. And it feels like you need to, it's almost like this is practice for you. I know that's really harsh to say, but like cutting this person out with all the swords, it's reminding me of scissors for some reason. Like cutting this person out and making room for people that actually care for you is going to be so beneficial, and it's going to teach you and show you what you actually need to do and how you need to start maneuvering through your life. Okay, because with your superpower being the Six of Pentacles, I think you give way more than you get, and that's part of the problem here. I feel like you're always trying to, this is harsh, win someone over, like by giving and showing and being like, hey, look, I'm worth it. Worthiness has no prerequisite, babe. You don't have to earn worthiness. Okay, just two. Yeah, you've got the Chariot and the Ace of Cups. I also think it's important to tell you that by setting better boundaries, it will actually attract healthy love into your life. Okay, it feels like right now what you're not understanding is that the reason your love life and your romantic relationship with this person is so out of balance is because of the lack of boundaries. And that translates into the other areas of your life. You're like, why is everything unbalanced? Because there's no boundaries anywhere. Okay, this is a moment of like, we're kind of acting like a doormat, and that's a big problem right now. Okay, it feels like you need to use this love as an example of like what a boundary can do to benefit you. How can removing something that doesn't work for you actually affect your life? That's what a lot of this is turning into. Because your hope is the Six of Wands. Your hope is victory. And you are going to be victorious here, babe. But with the Fool at the bottom of the deck, it's going to take a leap of faith. It's going to take doing something that scares the fuck out of you. Okay? You've heard, if you've listened to any readings I've done pretty much ever, anywhere, I always say feel the fear and do it anyway. You know, sometimes we have to strap on a depend and shit ourselves and do it. Okay? You've got the Magician, the Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Cups here. Hold on. Say it again. Ooh, that's harsh. There is no future in which you will be happy unless you learn to choose yourself. That's a rough one, Cancer. I know. Okay, with this Eight of Wands, the Magician, and the Ten of Cups, I feel like something you need to understand here is that if you are never going to choose yourself again, you will never get the happy ending that you want. Okay, we are our own happy endings, first of all. Absolutely, period. But when we think about the happy ending, when we think about the amalgamation of the idea of happiness, what does it mean to you? What does it look like? These are good journal prompts. when I picture it, what comes to mind? Okay, all these things, but if you can't learn to choose them, to look at them and be like, hey, I want that, they will never manifest into your life. Your outcome here is the Seven of Cups in the reverse. I feel like your month is really going to be chaotic, Cancer. I'm not going to lie here. It feels like you kind of end the month on a note of analysis paralysis. I want to remind you also that you have the power here. Okay? I'm hearing a lot of you don't think you do, but you do. When the ball is in your court, when it's your serve, you have the power. With the Seven of Cups in reverse, it feels like you're kind of in a freeze state because you're like, wait, I'm not used to this. What do I actually do with the ball right now? And it's like, the way my guides are saying this is kind of funny, but they're like, hit it. Okay, you need to make a clear, the way I'm hearing this is like, make a clear and concise choice of where you want the ball to go on the court, and then hit it. Take action. Okay, that's where it feels like your month ends for you guys. Is this knowledge of like, okay, if I want this, I have to go for it. Yeah, the Fool, you can't make it up. The Fool is literally that action. Even if you don't know, the way my guides just said this is, even if you think you're going to hit it out of bounds, something is better than nothing. Yeah, Six of Swords. We're moving on, Cancer. We're over it. The World. Close the cycle, babe. This is so positive. The Six of Swords, the World, and the Fool. Okay. Oh, interesting. My guy just said that to me. If you never do anything different, how can you expect a different outcome? How can you ever expect the cycle to close and to get a new cycle, to form a new cycle to be then wrapped up in? How can you expect that to happen if you don't end the previous one? Okay, you guys are, the way my guy just said this to me is, you're sitting on a landmine of opportunity here. Okay, there is so much direction. There are so many places you can go right now. You just have to get going. At the core of this reading, it is choose yourself. That's probably what I'm going to title it, honestly. The only person that deserves to be chosen by you is you in this reading. Okay? Let's get you an Oracle card, Cancer. The Oracle deck I'm using is the Angelarium. You guys have seen me use it a million times. I'm obsessed with it, but let's get you an Oracle message for Cancer. Can I get an Oracle for July, please? Oracle for July for Cancer, please. Thank you. Interesting. Your card is Samyaza, Angel of Pride. I'll read it to you guys. I believe this is the first one. I think it's 19. I was correct, period. Okay. When this card is revealed, consider the ways in which you have control over your own dominion and mastery. You have the power to give labels to the features of your life, and with that comes the power to influence those objects, places, relationships, and other aspects of your world. It may be valuable to consider whether that power is wielded responsibly or with selfish intent. This card always reminds me that, again, I said this to you before, you have the power. You have more power than you think you do here. Okay, this is our lives. Okay, I said that weird. You get to choose what your next step is. Like I said with the tennis analogy, you get to choose where the ball goes. You get to choose what your next move is. Use that power wisely. All right, Cancer? I will leave that there for you guys. That is your monthly forecast. Cancer, if you... Did I say this already? I don't know if I said this, but I'm going to say it again. If you'd like to book with me, you can do that through email and form submission on my website. If you would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live on Twitch 3 days a week reading tarot. You can catch me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. If this reading resonates with you, if my reading style resonates with you, consider leaving a like and subscribing. We are on the way to 100 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it. All right, Cancer, I will leave you guys with this. I hope to see you on Twitch. If not, it's totally okay. I will see you in the next video. Bye.